Twice this week we were told we should seem good, show mercy with our border laws. First, 3 Australians who went to Syria to help jihadist groups like the Islamic State now want a deal to come home. They don't want to be jailed, and we're told they could actually be useful.
Others argue reformed jihadists could provide useful intelligence and help de-radicalise young Muslims.
They can personally engage in de-radicalisation programs so they don't pose as a prospective risk on their return.
I think it's worth testing to see if we can use them for de-radicalisation.
That testing will be done on you. You'll take the risk if these returning jihadists aren't as repentant as the lawyer for one claims.
And he's certainly not Lily White, and he says in a way, well, I reject this ideology and I reject this lifestyle, and I want to now renounce it and return home.
The man the lawyer is talking about is Adam Brookman, a convert who calls himself Abu Ibrahim. Brookman claims he was doing only medical work in Syria and somehow found himself in the Islamic State by accident. But just how much of the ideology does he now reject?
He gave a recent interview to American television describing his disillusionment with the movement after witnessing a couple stoned to death for adultery.
Seeing someone die is not something anyone probably would want to see, but having the actual Sharia established is what many Muslims look forward to.
It doesn't strike you as medieval?
No.
Brutal?
It's harsh, it's real, but it's the Sharia.
Pardon? Is Brookman condemning the stoning of adulterers or endorsing it? In another interview, he said he'd seen the crucifixion of an alleged spy as well as the stoning. And this was in keeping with Sharia law, which all Muslims want, he says. But it should be done correctly, not gangster style. So how would we crucify someone correctly? No wonder an online poll on news.com.au found just 2,000 readers said we should let the jihadists come back, but 48,000 said no way. On the other hand, many journalists and academics said, let them come back. Let them teach the kids.
The big picture here is stopping youths going over and fighting in Iraq and Syria. Having a person who's been over there putting stuff out on social media saying how bad it is over there will be a real help.
Even stranger, while the Prime Minister was clear that returning jihadis should face jail, obviously, Labor leader Bill Shorten wasn't.
Someone who has been a terrorist abroad could very easily become a terrorist here in Australia. If you go abroad to join a terrorist group and you seek to come back to Australia, you will be arrested, you will be prosecuted, you will be jailed.
Well, fundamentally we believe in rehabilitation. There's the law of the land and we'll seek a briefing from the government.
What sort of punishment do you think, though, that they should receive if they were to come home? Is it a jail term?
There are laws in place. I'm not going to play judge and jury.
Isn't it wanting to seem non-judgmental and compassionate what's got us into this strife, where we've now got high terror alerts on our own streets? But there was a second example this week of politicians and journalists wanting to seem good at your expense. This time they were demanding Australia accept some of the thousands of Muslim boat people from Bangladesh and Burma that Malaysia and Thailand were refusing to let land.
No one's suggesting for a moment that we'll be able to accommodate everybody, but what we can do is play a much more responsible role in the region.
But wait, yes, some of these boat people were allegedly fleeing persecution, but most were just labourers looking for work in Malaysia. And what happened when we last encouraged boat people? 1,200 drowned for a start. Moreover, an Immigration Department survey shows 85% of refugees who do arrive are still on Centrelink payments 5 years later. And what has happened when we've accepted Muslim asylum seekers like these from rural areas with poor English, few skills? Those we took in from Lebanon in the mid-70s? From Afghanistan later? That problem is now so obvious that even the founding president of the Australian Federation of Islamic Councils, Hassan Salih, this week said, wait, Australia has been too soft in allowing in hardline Muslims. But again, Shorten is not as clear as Abbott in resisting calls to bring in these latest boat people.
Nope, nope, nope. We have stopped the boats and we are not going to do anything that will encourage people to get on boats.
Where there's an unfolding humanitarian crisis in Southeast Asia, Tony Abbott's not my problem approach is disappointing.
Sure, Abbott may seem hard, but look at the terror alerts. That is one price you pay for politicians having seemed so nice.